Welcome to Daybreak, and yes, right now we are going to be talking about home insurances. We are joined by Divya Manke, and she has the privilege of working in a dynamic world of insurance and finance for over 11 years. Currently, she serves as the unit head of general insurance and personal properties at InsuranceMarket.ae. Welcome to the show, Divya.
Hi, thank you for having me here, guys.
So the first thing that Divya said when she came into the studios is, "I'm very, very nervous. I couldn't sleep all night long."
And I'm making her even more nervous by
shoving the mic in her
हाँ,
face.
almost एकदम ताकि आवाज जो है ना वो खुल के बुलंद आए. So
Right.
Divya, if you could tell us about your role at InsuranceMarket.ae.
Okay, so I have been with InsuranceMarket.ae for 6.5 years now. This was my first job in UAE when I came. And obviously, I did not know anything about insurance when I came in. I have been from a finance background, and it was something new. So I was working in a general insurance department, which was more or less a business insurance team. And as years passed by with the dynamic team and the management we had, we grew. And it's 7 months earlier, I just got promoted as the unit head for the business insurance team.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So that was the general insurance team and the personal properties. So to give you a brief, personal property basically handles home insurance. We do pet insurance. Now that is something new.
Pet insurance?
Yeah, you can insure your pet as well.
Nice.
In the UAE right now. So yeah, I have a team of around 19 advisors. But for personal properties, we have 4 advisors currently who assist our clients. So as you're aware of the model, how we work, so we do get our clients or leads on our website. That's InsuranceMarket.ae. We speak to the client, we take them to the whole process of understanding how a home insurance policy works.
Right.
It sounds very easy when it comes to home insurance. It's not very technical, I would say, but there needs a hand holding. A client needs a hand holding to
Especially
understand. Yeah.
काफी लोग जो यहाँ पे रेंट पे रह रहे हैं वो सोच रहे हैं कि मैं क्या करूँ होम इंश्योरेंस लेके, right?
Correct, exactly. So basically, if I have to start off with, home insurance is a financial protection for your personal belongings, your contents. Even if you're a property owner who occupies the premises, or you are a tenant who's residing, in someone else's property. We all have contents, right? Like we have furniture, we have carpets, we have chandeliers.
तिजोरी
तिजोरी,
हमारी
yeah,
है,
of
जहाँ पे
course.
हमने गहने रखे
गहने,
हैं.
right? And in terms of
ये अम्बरीश पुरी की तरह क्यों साउंड कर रहे हो आप?
मैं दीपक तिजोरी की तरह साउंड कर रहा हूँ, अमरीश पुरी ने.
I was just going to say that actually.
Deepak Tijori. Anyways,
Yeah.
nonetheless, when you're talking about the home insurance policy, right?
Right.
So if you can just take us through as to what all is included, what all
Right.
is covered.
So basically, as I said, it's a financial protection for your home. So you can cover your contents. Contents are like your furniture, fixture, your carpet, anything that you'd have in your house, basically, and your personal belongings. Now, this is something a bit more wider than the term itself. What it covers is you have expensive watches. We have a lot of watch collectors in UAE right now. Luxury bags, your designer clothes, you have shoes. I mean, I have known clients who have like 120 pair of shoes. So exactly. So any accidental damage, in simple terms, like in case of a fire, in case of water leakage. Now that is something which we see very common.
Right.
Bursting of a pipe, and then there's a water leakage and your whole carpet is damaged. So that is something which is covered. It also covers theft and burglary. Now I know it's not very common in UAE to being robbed, right? But still that's a part of a cover. And yeah, so this is basically, in simple terms, I would say this is what we can cover. There's an additional cover that's a part of this policy. It's called as third-party liability. So let's say the damage starts from your apartment, and the water, is spreaded to a neighbor, and his carpet and his furniture is damaged.
Correct.
Now, he was not responsible for that. So he as a neighbor would want you to compensate for the damage that has happened. So third-party liability is also something which is covered under the policy. So you're not only responsible for your own contents and your own belongings, but also for someone else's in case if there is a damage. Yeah.
Now, Divya, if you can just help me understand, this is only for homeowners, I believe, the ones who own a property. What about the ones that rent a property?
No, so it's for the homeowners who own the property as well as the tenants. So let's say I am a tenant and I live in an apartment. I obviously have my own personal belongings if it's an unfurnished
So
apartment.
can I personally go and
Yes.
seek an insurance?
Yes, definitely. So all you have to do is you have to reach out to us. You have to declare the sum insured values. Now, what that means is you would have to tell us the value of your furniture that you would have. So approximately, let's say you've spent around 40,000 dirhams on sofa, carpet, bed, and everything. So that's the value you provide for your contents. And personal belongings you would have to evaluate. So let's say you have jewelry, you have watches, you have inherited jewelry from your family. So you need to give us the value of that, and we cover you for that sum insured.
Right. And what's the process like? So, for example, I want to take this insurance. How do I approach InsuranceMarket.ae?
Okay, so you can go on our website, InsuranceMarket.ae. You can put an inquiry there. You would be contacted by an advisor who would reach out to you, who would try and understand where do you live exactly, your address, the amount of contents you have, the personal belongings you have. They would also like to understand, yes, if you're a tenant or a homeowner, because that makes a difference there. And then they will take you through different plans. So we put up 3 to 4 different type of quotes from different insurance companies.
Right.
We do a comparison for you, and then we will give it to you, and then you can have a look at it. We do a very unbiased opinion. We want you to see the options and you to decide what works best for you.
राइट और प्लांट्स भी कवर्ड है होम इंश्योरेंस में प्लांट्स
Plants नहीं plants
क्योंकि
is something
टमाटर उगा रहा था उग नहीं रहा है
नहीं,
But how
unfortunately,
common
no.
are these policies? How common are these insurances? Health we know
Yeah.
of other insurance policies, but I don't know, insuring your house is a new one that I've heard.
To be honest, it's surprising that the volumes are very high, especially with the Western expats coming in, with a lot of influx of finance and wealth coming into the country, where
Right.
people have a lot of expensive items than we anticipate. It's very difficult, to imagine that someone would have like 2 million dirham worth of personal belongings at home.
Right.
Watches.
It's a mix of everything.
Artwork, maybe watches.
Artwork, yeah, watches. You have an Hermes, you have expensive bags,
Correct.
and so there is a lot of exposure there which you need to cover. Now, I would like to highlight a thing that if you have a personal belonging, let's say you have an expensive bag or a watch, and you're traveling. So let's say you're traveling to Europe and you get robbed or you get snatched. That is something can be covered under your home insurance
Oh,
policy.
wow.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So it's like a worldwide cover.
Right.
Which is very common in Europe, right? Like you get robbed or you get snatched. So that is something which is covered under your policy if you have a personal belonging which you're carrying
Oh,
across.
nice.
So we encourage clients to declare as much as they can, so that we can get them covered, and in case of a claim it's easier to cover.
And how does the premium जो है ना वो vary होता है? Also do you check कि यार वो building में जहाँ रह रहे हैं, जहाँ apartment में रह रहे हैं, वहाँ की security system कैसी है? Even all those are the factors while deciding the premium?
So basically, we don't check with those security details, but what we
Areas?
areas, yeah. So there's something called as accumulation risk. Now
Okay.
it's not very common term, but what it means is that certain areas have a higher accumulated risk. So for example, downtown is a high risk right now
Really?
because there are a lot of wealthy people living there.
Nice.
And the accumulation that most of the insurers have covered most of the apartments there.
Oh, wow.
So tomorrow, let's say if there's one fire in one building, you're actually burning down your book probably. So the premiums obviously change accordingly.
Okay.
So depending on the area where you live in, there's a slight increase in the premium. That's one. And second most important thing is just you declaring what items you have is more important. It doesn't matter if they don't check about the security system.
But they can be add-ons as well, right? I mean,
Yes, they can. Now, where security comes in picture is, to answer your question, is if I have expensive jewelry and watches, insurers want you to have a safe in your house.
okay.
Which and there are certain specific requirements in terms of what quality
तो
they need.
तिजोरी की जरूरत है
तिजोरी की जरूरत तो definitely.
3.
डेब्रेक आप सुन रहे हैं विवेक एंड म्यूरल आपके साथ आपके सवाल यू कैन ऑलवेज सेंड इट टू अस ऑन व्हाट्सएप या फोन भी कर सकते हैं 800-81003 दिव्या फ्रॉम होम इंश्योरेंस हमारे साथ वी वर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट प्रीमियम जो आता है होम इंश्योरेंस
Correct.
का
So we were asking you about premium. How does it differ? And you said like it differs based on the value of the goods that you have. Now
Right.
we are talking also about luxury assets. So talk to us a little bit firstly about luxury asset and then move on into the premiums.
Right. So as I said, in terms of luxury items, you can insure your bags, you can insure your watches, shoes, artwork. wine collection. Now that is something which is some clients do have, and they would like to ensure that.
Okay. So market value आप लेते हो या कितने में उन्होंने खरीदा था वो लेते हो?
So there is a valuation done usually. So for these expensive items, we request the clients. Bags and watches, of course, you do it on your invoice basis. But if you have jewelry, and if it's especially inherited jewelry, you want them to do an valuation.
Correct.
So we do know certain valuators who work with insurers. We suggest the client that you can reach out to them. If they have their own valuators, it's fine. I mean, but valuation helps because over the period of time, a Rolex actually the cost increases.
Correct.
You know, so we encourage the client to do their valuation every 2 or 3 years, or even a year, every year. So it
And
gives
this
an idea.
valuation process, is it expensive or is it affordable? Because माना कि मेरे घर में नहीं है luxury assets, but you know I don't know actually कि क्या क्या है और क्या क्या value इसका हो सकता है. For me to evaluate that,
See, now something, if it's not very luxury, let's say you it is just a jewelry that you have, like you have a wedding ring or you have bangles, you know the value, right? That's
Correct.
fine. But let's say if you have a Rolex, that is something that you need to value.
Correct.
so luxury assets ही है.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And if you have those diamond rings, you know, inherited from your grandmother, then you
Those
just need
carats
to
that
yes,
matter.
Yes.
So now, do
correct.
you also cross-evaluate? Obviously, you would ask a client to give you the evaluation, but do you, as a company, cross-evaluate it?
No, we don't. So what we do is we request the clients for the valuation certificates and the reports. Our insurers go through it, the underwriters go through it, and then they come back with a premium that they would like to charge. And if there is any additional question that they would have, then yeah, we go back to the client. Usually it's the safe, as we mentioned, the tijori, right? So they would like to know the make of the
Godrej.
Godrej. सबके
yeah,
मुंह से वही निकला,
so
Godrej.
basically they would like to know the way it works, and yeah, then they're able to understand your exposure and cover. But let's say for you, example, like people like you and me, we don't have that much of luxury assets, right?
Right.
So
यहाँ पे natural disaster नहीं, यहाँ पे theft का issue नहीं. You know, माना कि आपने किया insure, लेकिन it is not more of a, you know, करना ही है आपको, even though you have luxury assets, because you know the safety provided in the country is phenomenal.
But you know, fire is something which you're seeing very often nowadays. I mean, we see every month, like, you know, there's one fire, and you never know. I mean,
But aren't buildings already insured?
yes, they are, but your
Personal
contents, or your
belongings.
personal belongings, your contents would not be insured. See, structural damage to a property is something which is covered under your property insurance. But you personally have a jewelry, a piece of jewelry, or you have your own furniture, that is something that you want to insure. And another added advantage, there's an extension on the policy, that is, let's say you're living in a building and it caught fire, and you know you can't live in that premises for the next 3 months. You need an alternate accommodation. Now that is something which is covered under your policy. So insurance company would pay you for the cost of alternate accommodation. So let's say if you're putting up in a hotel or if you're in some different apartment, the rent is covered under your policy.
And what if the building is undergoing a redevelopment?
Yeah,
Then
so it's the it depends from insurer to insurer. Some give a 3 months, some give a 6 months alternate accommodation cover.
Right.
So let's say if it's going under redevelopment for 6 months, you're covered for that as well. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So now understanding this, so is this a common insurance policy that people understand in the first word go, or is it only for a high net worth individual who has that kind of luxury at his or her disposal?
To be honest, in past few years, we've seen an increase in people like you and me also looking out for this insurance. And I feel talking about it more creates an awareness. Now, if a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment has to be insured, the premiums are not more than 250 or 350 dirhams a year. Which is good. Like, why can't people like you and me actually have an insurance?
जैसे
Just,
मोबाइल
yeah.
फोन्स हो गए, जैसे साइकिल है मेरा,
Yeah.
जैसे you know normal things, you know छोटी छोटी चीजें. Yeah.
Yeah, and water damages is something which we've seen commonly, more than fire, especially the old constructions. The pipe bursts, especially in the summer, and then it's causing a damage, it's causing an inconvenience, and you don't want to spend money repairing it, or you don't want, you know, to buy a new sofa just because. And so yeah, you can get them covered. So
So now,
yeah.
Divya, tell me that, for instance, we've had an incident, we've had an outburst of water. We've had an outbreak of outburst rather of water leakage, right?
Right.
How long will it take for the insurance company to kind of pay me back,
Right.
give me back my claim?
So what would happen is, the moment a claim happens, the first thing you do is you go ahead and you report your claim, and then the insurers would come back with asking for the invoices, and there would be a quick survey done. The pictures are submitted. It usually typically takes 3 to 4 weeks if everything is in order for the insurers to pay out the claim. Obviously, if there are no supporting documents, and if the client has not been very responsive with what details we need, it takes time. But
What are
3 to
the
4
exact
weeks.
documents, Divya, now that we're looking out for?
So the first thing, depending on the type of incident, but police report in case if it's a theft,
Okay.
a civil defense report if it's a fire, that's something mandatory. We have a claims form which you have to fill, which asks you to mention the circumstances of the losses that happened and describing the incident. The invoices, the purchase invoices, if you have, of the assets that you've lost, and if it's a luxury item or jewelry, then they ask for your evaluation certificate. So yeah, these are the documents you submit, and then we do have a claims team at InsuranceMarket.ae. So you don't have to reach out to the insurer directly, you reach out to us. Our dedicated team assists you to the whole process from the time you lodge a claim till your claim is paid out.
क्या बात है? Can I also insure my TV remote? क्योंकि हमेशा गुम ही हो जाता है, वो मिलता ही नहीं है.
We can
Order
insure
करते
your
रहना.
TV, but not the
गाड़ी की चाबी?
that would fall under your motor insurance, I would say.
Okay, so let's talk to you about when in terms of insurance, and obviously you spoke about claim. Now, what if there is a mistake or there's a mishap happened by the owner itself?
How do you define that? That's very important. So, for example,
Say I don't know, I was having a barbecue session and I stirred something up and we
yeah.
caught fire.
So now there are some warranties every insurers have. If you're not supposed to barbecue in your balcony, you're not supposed to, right? I mean, if you live in a cladded building and if you stand in your balcony and smoke and drop the cigarette butt,
और fire होता है उससे.
fire hota, of course,
Yeah.
and then that is not something which an insurer
but I
would-
have an home insurance.
Yes, but then your home insurance basically covers you against accidental damage. We do not want to encourage any
Correct.
wrong activity.
Correct.
It's a moral police, right? The insurance is a moral police. Just because I have car insurance, I can't just go ahead and bang people on the road. right?
Correct,
So,
yeah,
something
but
like
also
that,
very
yeah.
interesting. You know, मेरे जो certificates है ना, वो भी बहुत valuable है. Can I insure that?
Yes, you can. Some insurers exclude them as documents, but
जैसे
then
birth certificate हो गया, marriage certificate हो गया, जैसे you know,
Right.
graduation हो गया.
that's usually an exclusion, but then if you specifically want it to be covered, that's something which we can speak to the insurers and get
तो
it
मैं
done.
पैसे जब मिल जाएंगे, इंश्योरेंस क्लेम जब मिल जाएगा, तो
You can apply for
apply for a replica.
But ideally, it's an exclusion for most of the insurers. That's not something that, but they cover cash. So
Right.
if you have cash in the house, and
They cover.
yeah, they
So,
cover that.
talking about the range of home insurance policy, could you give us a rough range so that we can get an understanding?
Right. So the premium starts as low as I said, 250 dirhams a year to 350 dirhams a year, and it goes up to
Did you say 250, 250?
250 dirhams a year. It's as low as if you have a one-bedroom apartment and if your
Right.
contents are, let's say, for 30-40,000 and your personal belongings another 50,000. It's not more than 250 to 350 dirhams a year, which is, I think, pretty
Very
affordable.
affordable.
And this
Yeah.
also covers damage, yeah? I mean, you
Yeah.
know, sofa पे बच्चे ने jump मारा और टूट गया, तो it does cover that.
Yes, but again, it's an accident. How do you define it? It's an accidental damage. Yes. Now the sofa was there, and somebody jumped
The
on it and
child,
it
yeah.
broke. Yeah. Or in case if you had a cleaner at your place and she was cleaning and she dropped something and it's damaged. So yeah, that's something covered. It's termed as
Wow.
accidental
Perfect.
damage.
Superb, yeah, very nice.
Can you also insure the spouse? No?
वो life insurance में आता है.
Yeah, life
ये
insurance.
सब
में.
insurance mix
She's in
मत
the
करो.
house insurer.
But
No,
yeah.
he causing damage to your property is something I am not sure of. But yeah.
No, but interesting, very, very interesting, Divya. I think what you brought forward, my analysis of this was at least saal mein you have to pay around 1,500, 2,000, which is why I was very hesitant.
Right.
Because it was predominantly directing towards the high net worth individuals. The moment you said 250, I think it's a win-win situation.
Fantastic. And any last points you want to mention, Divya, to everyone looking for home insurance?
I would say try us. You can reach out to us at InsuranceMarket.ae. We have a dedicated team. They can assist you throughout the whole process, especially if you don't understand how to evaluate your personal belongings and your contents. They will explain you how to differentiate, because clients often get confused what is contents and what is personal
Correct.
belongings. So this is something which our team can help you through. We do have a dedicated claims team, as I mentioned, so they can assist you throughout your claim. And you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to help.
Super.
Thank you so very much,
Thank
Divya,
you.
for taking time coming to our studios and actually educating